Managing conflicts of interest is a responsibility for any manager, as it directly impacts the integrity and effectiveness of both oversight and evaluation within an organization. A conflict of interest occurs when an individual's personal interests could improperly influence the performance of their professional duties or decisions, potentially resulting in actions that benefit them at the expense of the organization. Effective conflict of interest management ensures that all company decisions are made in the best interests of the organization and its stakeholders. The first step in managing conflicts of interest is to establish a clear policy that defines what constitutes a conflict. This policy should outline the processes for disclosing any conflicts and the steps to be taken when a conflict is identified. It is essential that this policy is communicated effectively to all members of the organization, ensuring that they understand their obligations to disclose any potential conflicts. Regular training on the implications of conflicts of interest and how to avoid them is essential for maintaining an ethical workplace. These training sessions should provide real-life examples and scenarios that help employees understand the nuances of conflicts and the importance of transparency. They should also be reminded of the channels through which they can report potential conflicts, which could include direct communication with a supervisor or through a confidential reporting system. Once a potential conflict of interest is disclosed, it is important to assess and manage it appropriately. This typically involves an independent review by a manager or a designated committee, depending on the size and structure of the organization. The review should consider the seriousness of the conflict and whether it can be managed or if it necessitates the recusal of the individual from specific duties or decisions. Documentation plays a role in managing conflicts of interest. All disclosures and the subsequent actions taken should be recorded in detail. This documentation not only provides a record that can be reviewed in future audits, but also helps protect both the individual and the organization in case of any accusations of impropriety. Managers themselves must be vigilant about their activities and interests, leading by example in the disclosure and management of conflicts. They should regularly review their own professional engagements and financial interests to ensure they do not conflict with their roles within the organization. This self-monitoring is critical as managers often hold positions that could significantly influence the organization's strategic direction and resources. In cases where conflicts are identified, creating transparency around how decisions are made can help mitigate potential negative perceptions and maintain trust within the organization. When conflicts are handled openly and fairly, it reinforces a culture of integrity and accountability. Effective conflict of interest management also requires ongoing evaluation of both the policy and its enforcement. This may involve regular audits of the process, seeking feedback from employees about the system's effectiveness, and adjusting as necessary. Changes in the business environment, new types of employment, or evolving regulatory requirements might all necessitate updates to the conflict of interest policy. In the broader context of corporate governance, the board of directors should also be involved in overseeing the management of conflicts of interest. This oversight ensures that the highest levels of management are committed to upholding the standards of conduct, and that these standards are integrated into the organization's culture. Successfully managing conflicts of interest is essential for maintaining the ethical standing of an organization. It ensures that all employees, particularly managers, make decisions that are in the best interests of the organization, free from personal bias or gain. Through comprehensive policies, regular training, meticulous documentation, and transparent processes, an organization can effectively manage conflicts of interest and uphold its commitment to ethical business practices. These efforts not only protect the organization from legal and reputational risks, but also contribute to a corporate culture that values and promotes integrity.